everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. So this was a pre-recorded live, although it's coming to you live, if that makes sense. I am actually traveling for 2 weeks. I'm going away with my mum. She had some major surgery, so we're taking on a recuperation trip. And then I'm going to England to do create and craft. So hopefully you've been following along on Instagram and things and Facebook with my travels. And I'm not sure where I am right now, but I will try and join you in the chat to the side. Bethany is here as well to drop links, and maybe some of the other parts of the team will drop in as well. And today is Foiling Friday, and that means we're going to share with you some of my favorite foiling tips and tricks, as well as we have some great new foiling products for you. Now, I am, as I say, I'm not live right now. We filmed this way in advance, so I don't have the newest things, but Bethany's going to drop you a comment to the side. We have the most beautiful new ephemera, and if you get our ColourPop Premier subscription or our Make a Medley subscription, you already have the awesome adventure campground, in the wild wilderness ephemera. It's super cute, and you get both pieces. If you don't know how to use both pieces, hop back to last month's Foiling Friday. We did 101, and I'll be showing you other techniques along in the next few months. Now, once a month, I do Foiling Friday, and the idea is to let you know tips and tricks for this month. We are using Foiling Transfer Gel Duo from Deco Foil, and this is a great way to start if you don't have a laminator and you just want to try out foiling and see if it's for you. And if you like it, you don't need any equipment. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand with a die cutting machine and with a laminator. So you have all of the options, which is super cool. So I do this once a month. Next month, we'll be using Blanco gel, which is another gel medium. They're very different. So I'm not going to cover Blanco gel this month at all. We're just going to use the Duo gel. And I want to share everything from my tips and tricks to spreading it through to how to use it. And also, I've got some different mediums, and I'm going to show you how they react as well when you use the Transfer Gel Duo on them. So we also have a new background paper, which I can't remember the exact name. It's like a newsprint dictionary kind of page. It is not foilable paper, but I picked it because it makes a beautiful background for your foiling. It's enough interest, and you can ink it and do other things to it. You could foil it with some mediums like the Transfer Gel Duo. You could stencil over the top and make a really cool altered collagey medium. But it isn't actually like our black and white foilable. It's got colors in it, which is going to make it a little bit different. You can also see that we have a new foil, which I'm going to be using this evening. It's really, really cool. That one I do have right here. Plus, we're re-releasing one of our old favorite stencils that I'm also going to show you. And maybe I've forgotten something that we're releasing too, but Bethany will have all the info. Or simple sayings for men, masculine simple sayings. They come out tonight as well. And probably some other things, but I'll let her catch up in the chat because I'm flying solo. So without further ado, let's go down to my desk. Let's press the right button. Here you go. I am working on my Maker's Surface Pad, previously known as the Maker's Mat. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is spreading out the gel. So it is a white gel. I'm going to unscrew mine here. You can see a really nice, lovely white gel. The only thing I'm going to say is make sure you keep your edges clean. I've been using mine this morning, but before I finish up foiling, I will clean all the edges so that my lid does not get stuck on there permanently. But it is acrylic based, so it's actually pretty easy to unscrew. It doesn't like go too solid like a resin. You just give it a tap on the side like this, and I've never been able to not get the lid off, which is a nice one. So when you put it on, it's going to look white. When it is dry, it will go clear. Here are some by the magic of TV that I prepared earlier. Now, the only thing I want to share with you is, I don't know if you can see like in this zone here, I got a little bit of splodging outside. So my foil is going to stick to anywhere where there is medium. This bit's really nice and crisp. But this bit down here, I got some over stenciling. And the reason is I didn't, I taped my stencil down. I didn't spray my stencil down. So if you want to get those really crisp lines, let me show you how to do that. Here is one of my favorite stencils. This one's been out for a while. It's called Juxtapose. It's really cool. And what you're going to want to do is spray it with Pixie Spray. So this is a temporary spray adhesive. Again, links in the side and in the video description for you too. And you're just going to take it and give it a light spray. And the one thing, probably a little bit longer, this one already has some Pixie Spray on it because I used it earlier. But if you want to store your stencils with Pixie Spray on, grab yourself some wax paper or some freezer paper from the grocery store and just stick it on the sticky side and put it back in the packaging, and it will store absolutely fine. So if you want to clean this off, then what you're going to want to do is give yourself some prime time spray it on, leave it 60 seconds, take your Squid Buddy and really rub it in after that 60 seconds, and then take your Totally Awesome cloth, wipe off as much as you can, and repeat the process with some Squid Buster, and you'll find the majority of that stickiness will be gone. It's not going to be completely. It also will wear off, but it's not going to do your stencil any harm to leave it on there. So we've left this now for probably about 60 seconds by the time I get to it. I like to just then fold my Maker's Mat in half, or you can use a splat box. A splat box that has like little walls and things. Bethany can put the link in there, and it folds completely flat. Mine is in my Creativation box, so I don't have it to hand, but you can do that option as well. Now we're going to take our cardstock. I'm using Eclipse Black. Any regular cardstock will do. And we're going to stick our stencil on. So you can kind of, line up. It has printed lines, so I know exactly this braveness. I get that sure. And so I'm going to stick that down on here. Actually, I might just do it. And this is the nice thing, is you can lift it up and move it around. I'm going to do it like this because I think this looks kind of cool, half on, half off. And just give it a light press. You don't need to burnish it down or do anything crazy. And now we're going to take our gel. And this is my preferred application. You can do, I always say just do what works for you. This is my preferred. So I take a spatula and I just kind of put a splodge of it across. And then I stand this up somewhere. Then I take stencil pals. These have a really nice flat edge. You can use this edge. People have their variation. And the reason I really like doing this, and it is just a matter of a little bit of practice, is you want to get the angle at about 45 degrees. Imagine you're icing a cake if you've done that before, and go along there. And then you can take your spatula, clean off your excess. I need a bit more in here. And the one thing with Duo Gel compared to any other medium is you want an even coat. You actually want a pretty thick coat. You don't want anywhere where you can see through and have thick and thin, because then your foil's not going to adhere quite as well. Unless you're going for the grungy effect like Greg does, and then that's a really good way to go. So I'm just putting this on, spreading it down. And the nice thing is it's a no waste technique. Making sure I got a nice even coat. Is you just take your spatula along here, pick up the excess, throw it in there, and off you go. Okay. And then I put this in my cleanup bucket, which I have a little bit of water in so it doesn't dry too fast. Peel this off. And look at that beautiful, crisp foiling impression I got on there. Now I'm going to put this one to the side because if we leave it like this, it's just going to stay here. And you cannot foil this until it is dry. Well, how do I know it's dry, Alex? It's going to go clear. This is a dry one. You can see now it's completely clear and glossy. So that's how you're going to know. It doesn't take too long. My craft drum is incredibly hot, so it takes less than an hour to dry. Another top tip is if you do have a laminator or a radiator, just depending on where in the world you are, sometimes, I'm going to bring mine in like this, because I want to preheat my laminator, I will put this on top of my laminator like that. And obviously don't leave it unattended, but you will find it dries much quicker. That extra little bit of heat really, really helps it dry. Okay, so I'm going to move this gunky one to the side because I don't want gunk all over our things. So here I have lots of panels. This is our hexagon burr stencil. This is our acutely aware on Rose the Day Away. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about vellum. So you can do Duo Gel on vellum, and I'm going to put it through the die cutting machine method is my favorite on vellum. I find that gives me the best results, but it's going to make it ripple. If you use our translucent vellum, you see how this is a bit more ripply? Like if I turn this over, you can see it's kind of crinkled from all the moisture in the gel. The translucent vellum doesn't do it as much because it's a little bit thicker, so it can take a bit more of that water that you throw at it as well. Now, you can foil on top of printed papers, but bear in mind it is going to stick to some of the printing if it was printed with toner. You can also use Duo Gel over alcohol inks. Again, bear in mind it might stick to some of that excess alcohol ink because of the resin in there. As long as you don't mind that grungy effect, which can often look really pretty, you're good to go. Okay. Now this is where duo gel gets really fun. So I have 2 panels here. This is our ginkgo stencil. You know I'm on a ginkgo kick right now. And this is our hex code that we are re-releasing tonight in our easy store fashion rather than the skinnies. And I'm going to grab out our newest foil. This comes out tonight. This is diamond plate. Isn't it awesome? Like, I just love this. For masculine cards, this is so cool. It literally looks like, you know, that diamond cut steel that toolboxes and stuff come out of. So again, I'm going to take, so this one's a bit harder to tell because you can see it looks pretty much the same both sides, but this side looks holographic and this side kind of looks matte and dull in comparison. So I want my matte dull side to go down like this and my holographic side to go up. Now the nice bit about duo gel, as opposed to like last month when we were just using plain paper, is it does dry tacky. Not super tacky, but a little bit tacky. So you can really stick it down and make sure it's on there, okay? Whereas I'm going to take this ginkgo one and do the same. You just kind of press down like this. And we'll work from there. Okay, so here's our first 2 methods. I'm just making sure I've got a little bit of something everywhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put it through my switch machine, which is right here. So our sandwich, it's going to be our regular die cutting sandwich. So I have my big thick plate. You can also do this in your diamond press marquee machine. You can do it in any die cutting machine. You've got your regular Sizzix pad. So this is your thinner sandwich, okay? And all you want is some pressure. Now, sometimes these are not as flat as you might want them to be. So at that point, I still grab out a little bit. Where did my parchment go? I had a big pile of it right here somewhere. So you're still going to grab out, here it is, some of your parchment paper. And I just put that on top for a little bit of extra protection. So here's my sandwich. Let's put it through the big shot. Okay. So I'm just literally running it straight through as I always would. Nothing any different. There's no dyes in here. There's no special shims in here. There's nothing any different to than when we do our normal regular embossing, die cutting. Okay. So this is where we find out how dry my panels really were after an hour of sitting here, because I don't really know. I'm just hoping because they looked clear. So let's go down to my desktop already. So this is what I meant by the overfoiling. This is a used stencil that I put on here. So you see, I got lots of foil in places that I don't necessarily want it. Now, as a grungy background, I actually think that looks really cool to make a masculine card, or I could die cut this for a happy birthday or something. And this is still a little bit soft. So, you know me, I'm an instant gratification crafter. But let's do the same thing with my ginkgo. And for this one, I'm going to lay over a piece of parchment. I'm just going to open it straight up. Now, if you have something that I have some big carriers for foiling and things, but as I say, everything is packed away because we literally just got back from Creativation. So I am trying to get this done because I travel straight away. But you can do it in this method as well. Just lay a piece of parchment over the top. This is the big Amazon Basics laminator. And the only downside I would say of that is I tend to have to run it through twice. The run it through one and done type thing doesn't work quite as well. So I'm going to run this one through twice. And I also want to show you some other ways to do this method. Now you can use this leftover bit with blank canvas and get the opposite again, like we did last month. As I say, go back and watch that video. We'll drop it in the links for you too. You can also see how quickly this one is drying. It's already starting to go clear in certain places. So just putting it on top of your laminator really helps the drying process. Okay, come on, let's go. Was this once or twice? I can't remember. I'm going to just do once more because I can't remember if I even got through it twice. I'm so busy chit-chatting with you all that I would love to know in the comments below if anyone has used Duo Gel before. Have you had success with it? Have you not had success with it? Just bear in mind, all of these panels show you if you get that little splodge. One, it's not the end of the world because actually I really love the background. And also, did you know you can now take this and alcohol ink over the top of it? And the alcohol ink will just soak into anywhere that there's cardstock, but anywhere that you've got the foil, it'll behave like really cool alcohol ink. Maybe I should save this and do this with Mr. Maker Monday with Greg. I think he would love that technique. So here I am putting this through. And this is where I'm going to show you. This one was not the most even foiling. Okay, so it wasn't a nice smooth surface that we got on this one. It had some pits and things in it. Again, I'm not perfect at this, so I want to just show you the differences you get and different options you've got too, because there's some cool things. One of the weeks I want to do, or one of the months rather, I want to do just stressed foiling with you. That's a really, really cool technique. And I'm just going to peel this off. Look how gorgeous that is as a panel for a background. And this is where I mean, like here, it was not perfectly straight. So I've got some hills and valleys, but overall, that is a really beautiful foiling. And can you imagine as a background, that is going to look stunning. And of course, remember, you can reuse this piece with your blank canvas. And we have some really great blank canvas grab bags. Our old packaging, which we've retired, was covered with blank canvas because we use that special toner in all of our printing. So again, Bethany will put that in the side. It's great value. You get like 30 to 50 pieces for basically nothing. So check that out too. But how cool is that background piece? All right, so that's with the laminator. I'm going to do another one with the die cutting machine. This one is a little bit of a cleaner one. I still see some overfoiling, but we're just going to go with it. And for this one, this is a hexagon burst. And I'm going to use the Heart of the Ocean foil that we launched last month. I love these foils, can I just tell you? So again, just take it, press it down, and then run it through your die cutting machine. I'll sit here for this one. But this is how easy it is. I literally can just sit over here, put everything in, turn my machine on, put it through, keep chatting with you all. And because my arms aren't that long, I let it go most of the way through, like that. And then I just reverse it back out again, and it's easy and perfect. So let's go with this. Okay, peel this one out. So here you go. You can kind of roughly see what you're going to get. I love this stencil too, can I just say? But look at that. So this was a much cleaner stencil. So therefore, I have a much cleaner result. How pretty is that though? That's hexagon burst with Heart of the Ocean foil on it. All right. Now, as I said, you can use vellum, but the thinner vellum really will tend to wrinkle, but it gives you a great distressed effect. So that's why I wanted to show it to you. So I'm going to take some of our Sunrise Lake foil and put it on top. I'm just going to overlap pieces because my piece isn't quite big enough because I cut mine down for another project. Again, reusing what we've already got. I like doing the vellum with the die cutting and then also running it through the laminator because it sucks some of that moisture out. But first of all, I want to get a really nice press. Entirely up to you what way you do it and what works for you. Greg would tell me off because I didn't turn the camera around so you could all see me. And then I'm also going to show you one more other way you can use this Deco Foil Duo Gel for a really cool technique on your cards. I'm just let it whir away for a second. As I say, any die cutting machine will work. So if you have a switch, if you have a big shot, if you have the spellbinders, if you have the marquee, that will also work. Any die cutting machine, because all you actually need is pressure. I'm going to run it through the laminator too, just to try and suck a little bit of moisture out of it. You do not have to do this. And as I say, if you use the translucent vellum, then you won't have as much wrinkling. It's about how much water, because there is water in this medium, how much water can your surface take? And the other thing is, look how quickly, with this being on top, do you see how quickly that geogel is drying? So there's my top tip. Use your laminator like a little radiator, because if you heat it with your heat gun, it can bubble, and that's not so fun. It's not what any of us want to see. But just put it on top of the laminator. That is just enough heat. But please don't leave it unattended. I don't want anyone having a fire or having problems and things. So if you're sitting here like we are now, and you're just crafting away doing other things, just stick them on top of the laminator. Towards the middle is the hottest part, and you'll have that as well. So this one is nearly done. Greg really needs to invent that fast laminator, doesn't he? Anytime today. Thank you. All right. So now we get to do the fun part. Look how pretty this is. And you see a little bit of that crinkling has gone from putting it through the laminator. But I would, as I say, suggest doing the die cutting machine first and then doing the laminator, because I've done it in both ways. It also looks even cool on the reverse. Look how cool that looks. Like you could put a piece of cardstock behind it like this. And you see like this really cool vintagey pattern from the foil, or you can do it this way around. And again, really, really cool. So another way to play with it on another medium. As I say, you can literally foil anything. If you like working with chipboard, you could put the duo gel on it. You're just going to have to use the die cutting method with the duo gel, as opposed to using the laminator, because it's going to be too thick for your laminator. So you really can foil on any medium. You can foil on metal too. I've done it with the duo gel again. Let it dry. It's going to take longer to dry because it's a non-porous material. Same with Yupo paper. And you're going to want to use the die cutting machine method, because you want the pressure, and then just play around with the sandwich. Don't break your die cutting machine as well. Please don't break that die cutting machine. But I have not found a medium I can't use duo gel on. It's just a matter of having the right drying time and making sure everything is dry. And you might be saying, okay, Alex, but I don't have a die cutting machine yet, and I don't have a laminator. Can I still try this method? Why, thanks for asking. Absolutely, you can. On our Hyde Park paper, I actually meant to put the Ginkgo stencil, and I put the hex code, but it's fine. So I'm going to grab out here a bone folder. This is our Teflon bone folder. You want a nice large surface area for burnishing, which is what Greg developed here by changing this angle. And I'm going to take just the scrap that we had left from the last hex code, and I'm going to put it up here, just like this. So and all I'm doing is burnishing. So I don't have any special machines. I literally have a stencil that I duo gelled. Then I have my foil, whatever foil you like. And remember, it has to be a toner reactive foil. So like the Thermoweb foils, not the Spellbinders foils, not the Crafter Companions foils. They will not work, unfortunately, for you. You're going to do that. You're going to burnish really firmly. See how easy that is? And I don't have a lot of strength in my hands, and so if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And then the nice thing is, as you peel, the foil will kind of tell you when it's ready. You see it just kind of like peels away. And if you miss a bit, you just go back in. But one thing I will say with this is almost let the foil do the work for you. Once you get it started, do you see how this is like loosening itself up over here? Like it's doing it itself once it's covered everything. And my suggestion is, I say, I don't have a lot of strength in my hands, and I have a problem with my hands. So I hold this with a loose grip, just put one finger here and put the pressure down like this. And the foil is loosening itself, okay? And so this is a way you can do it. No special equipment. And then you just go in, peel away, and you have the same foiled area, okay? And again, here you can see I didn't have a smooth surface. That's why I've got some hills and valleys. This stencil really lends itself to the grungy look, so it's kind of cool. But you can then also do what I call foil piecing. So now I put down a bit of silver. Now I can go in with some gold, and I can really kind of choose where I want each foil to be. So again, this one I'm doing stripes. And I'm not saying this is the right color combination. I'm just showing you a technique here. And this is a nice way that if you want to foil different bits of a stencil in a different color, duo gel with your bone folder is really going to allow you to do that. So here I have the two colors. And again, you can even ink blend, and the foil is going to resist any of your color hive dye based inks. So again, just a really versatile medium. This is what I love about foiling, is there's so many ways you can use foil. There's ways you can do that. We can use this leftover on blank canvas with our laminator. This one you do have to have a laminator for. And those blank canvases are those all black sheets that we were talking about last week. If you didn't see the video, we'll link it in the description, and Bethany will have put it in the chat for you. And so you can go in and find all that. Everything I have used tonight is available at Maker Forte, and she may even have a special coupon code for you. So check the live chat, because Bethany sneaks these things in. You just never know. And I'm not there, so she can get away with whatever she wants to do. So I know. We'll see. Check out the chat. She'll let you know. Also, as Bethany is here, I'm going to get her to choose 2 winners from the comments to receive a foiling good pack. So I'll give Bethany a few seconds to pick those out and to post them in the side as well. So again, check out the super chat. And if you're not watching this live and you're watching this later, remember to hit subscribe, ring the bell, and please do give us a thumbs up. It really helps. It costs you nothing. And also, we will tell you when we're going live, because we have things like Foiling Friday. We have Mr. Maker Mondays. We have Lift Your Spirits. We have Holo Days. We have crafter parties. We have all sorts of amazing stuff here. So be sure to turn on those notifications and come join us for lots of crafty fun. I'm also going to be doing the Card Makers Success Summit with Brandy. Again, we'll put a link to the side if you want to come join me for that. And we have 5 boxes left for our crafter party retreat weekend. So again, if you want to come spend a weekend with me and learn cool stuff like this and get coupons, free shipping, exclusives, and have 2 amazing days of tutorials with some of my favorite crafters. Every hour I invite a different crafter in to share something with you as well. Then you can do that too. So I can't wait to see you all again when I get back. I'll be hopping in here and there as well. I don't think I have any other scheduled lives while I'm away. So I'll let you know as soon as I'm back. And if I can, I will also go live from Create and Craft Studios and show you some behind the scenes there too. But otherwise, have a crafty time. Thank you again for all of your support. I can't thank you enough for everything you all do to support our wonderful family business here. We've got an amazing 2022 coming, and I can't wait to share the rest of the year with you. Join me next month on Foiling Fridays for Blanco Gel. I'll be doing all the things you need to know. Make sure you've got some in your stash ready to go. And if you want to pre-foil some bits of cardstock with some Blanco Gel, go for it. Have some foils to hand. It is the laminator method, but the great thing about Blanco Gel is there is a ton of ways to use it. So come join me for that. And I will see you next month for Foiling Friday, and in a few days' time for some more crafty fun together. Have fun, everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.